forward. All right. So welcome everyone. Just quick housekeeping. Kathleen just joined us. This is expected to go no more than an hour instead of the 90 minutes. So you have an extra 30 minutes in your Friday schedule. Yay! The purpose of today is to just give you a little bit of a preview of the Asentiv Mastermind community. It's a mastermind. So we're going to talk through what is a mastermind, what are the advantages and benefits of participating in a mastermind, and the specifics about the Asentiv Mastermind community. I do not currently have one going, so this is an invitation to become a founding member of the mastermind community. So thank you for your interest, and jot down questions. I am going to have some time for some interaction throughout. And really it's about making sure, asking questions and making sure it's a good fit, if it makes sense for you and if it's a good fit for you, and going on from there. So that being said, small enough group, please jump in with questions if you have them. Those of you that know me know that I am, as a former teacher, the more questions, the better. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I did a lot of research. I was originally, when I found out about the Asentiv Mastermind community concept, I was very much drawn to it because those of you who know me and have heard me talk, I am all about, as a former teacher especially, facilitating connections. And I see the ability in facilitating a mastermind. That's like the best thing that I could do in my day. I would just love to be able to do that all day long. So I was very drawn to this concept. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about today in terms of what is a mastermind comes from mastermind groups, accelerators of success. And we also have a guideline with Asentiv mastermind communities in general. So those are the two sources, just to quote my sources. I wish I had the knowledge to make all of this up, but I don't, so I just own that. A little bit about me, most of you know that, but I have over 20 years of experience I started in the corporate world, moved into education, spent 9 years in network marketing, dabbled in entrepreneurship earlier on in life, and really that's kind of where I've settled today. I love owning my own business, being in charge of my life, so I love being able to combine all of my experience from the different areas into what I provide for my clients. I'm an international speaker and trainer, certified and licensed trainer with Asentiv and Codebreaker Technologies. I have my master's in the art of teaching and bachelor's of science in business administration as well. Mama bear to 3 boys and 3 rescue dogs. If you're on my Facebook page, that's pretty obvious. And I'm also very passionate and cause driven. I do not do anything that I don't believe 100% in. So you can know and trust that, things that I'm doing, it's, authenticity and integrity are key for me. Those are big values for me. So let's get started and talk about what is a mastermind. Oops, did not mean to hit that button. So a mastermind is a group. It's one that it's for entrepreneurial people in search of excellence and rapid development in their business. It's facilitated by, or generally led by a facilitator, and they combine things like brainstorming, training, big focus on taking responsibility for self as well as peers, the other members of the group. And the goal really is about strengthening your business activities and personal skills. So this is a place where you can share your challenges, ask for help in a constructive way with the intention of finding a guided solution. They are not an individual support group, therapy group, group coaching, different things like that, just a training session. They're very specific in what they are and what they aren't. And the biggest differentiator is the intention of the mastermind is to create this concept and benefit from collective intelligence. So collective intelligence is a term that refers to the cognitive abilities of a community, okay? And it results from multiple interactions between members. In other words, it's shared or group intelligence that emerges through collaboration and discussion. So it's intelligence in the greater sense of the term that's strongly correlated with the capacity for coming up with new solutions without needing to reuse existing solutions. So it's a very effective way if you're facing a challenge to bring to this collective intelligence group and come up with new solutions, new ways of looking at things that you may not have come up with on your own. They're intentionally created, and masterminds can be hit or miss because it's very easy to sink into what's called groupthink. Okay, it's a method of thinking that people use when they're deeply involved in a united group. Their desire to get along exceeds the motivation to come up with new solutions in a realistic way. So it's like, I'm just going to go along with what the group is thinking because I don't want to hurt any feelings or anything like that. Okay, so it's my role as the facilitator to look at the overall dynamics of the group and make sure it does not fall into that group think, because then you lose the concept of the collective intelligence. Everybody good so far?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is tetralemma? All right, so as human beings, we often have the tendency to analyze things from a binary point of view. It's two contradictory solutions. Each one sometimes can be unsatisfactory. So then we end up in a dilemma. And it's important to realize in every solution, there's actually an infinite number of ways to look at things. So a tetralemma, it's a powerful format for accomplishing this. So an example of binary logic: A is true, B is false, or B is true, A is false. Okay, we get into that mindset. It's that either or, okay? But with a tetralemma, there's 4 different possibilities. So A can be true, B false, B true, A false. Maybe A and B are both true. Maybe neither A or B are true, okay? So it's a powerful way to really think about the bigger picture, avoid conflict, and create conditions that generate greater collective intelligence. So that's a focus that is important within the group. Just putting in some quotes through here. To be in a mastermind group means that you're surrounded by exceptional people and that you end up doing some really awesome things. That's what somebody said about a mastermind group. So what are some of the advantages? Let's go through a high-level overview of what's in it for me. So being part of a mastermind group, you have an appointment that you've committed to on a monthly basis to work on your business. And it's not something that, you know, the beginning of the week, you set aside time in your calendar and you're like, okay, I'm going to spend, you know, an hour on Friday doing this for my business, and then something comes up and, you know, I don't know if anybody else does that, but I do that on a weekly basis. So this is an intentional commitment and appointment that you're making to work on your business. Through your commitment to the group, you freely decided to devote your time, your professional development once a month for a year. As your facilitator, I take care of all of the logistics so that you can just come, be, work on your business, not have to worry about any of the other dynamics that comes with that. And you know that every month you have an opportunity and an important meeting with peers to discuss your business, develop solutions, and let your brain refresh itself and recharge among like-minded individuals. So as a participant, all you have to do is direct your attention to your projects, your business, yourself, and the quality of the relationships with the other members of the group. The second advantage is that you're part of a supportive group, and this can bring benefit that goes beyond just the cognitive knowledge exchanged by group members. There's a lot in being in that kind of a dynamic there. Another advantage is that you don't have to do anything. I organize everything, lead the group using the tools that are specific to collective intelligence. I take responsibility to turn exchanges into something that are profitable so that everyone comes away with more value than what they invested. And finally, the benefit is that you get input from a group of expert consultants at the same time from different professions and experiences. They may have different career and life paths and skills than you do, but they only want one thing, and that's to help you without any hidden agenda. I love the definition of synergy. 1 + 1 is greater than 2. When you get at least 2 minds together, you come out with more. There's the analogy that I heard of, if I have $1 and Boyan has $1 and we exchange dollars, we both walk away with $1. But if I have an idea and Boyan has an idea and we exchange ideas, we both walk away with 2 ideas. Okay, so it's bringing that benefit together. So speaking of benefits, what are some of the benefits? So masterminds will allow you to work to reach your desired outcomes and goals. In the Asentiv world, it's about working towards the vision primarily that you create for your business, because with Asentiv, we talk about the house of referrals and what's on the top, the roof, your vision. Everything else comes underneath that. And really, it's about gaining the confidence and helping you gain the confidence in your ability to reach those outcomes. Also, focus on developing the skills to achieve your goals through multiple kinds of expertise coming from peers. Helps you kind of free up your imagination and think differently and benefit from other ideas, and making a commitment and a decision. When you're making the commitment to showing up for your business, to work on your business, and also every session you're making a commitment and decisions to move your business ahead. And also it gives you the ability to learn from others' successes, from your own successes, as well as mistakes as well, in a supportive environment. And sometimes a large group of peers can be better at problem solving than a small group of experts. I love that. All right, so let's do a little bit of interaction. I'm going to go through a list of potential benefits a participant receives. This is an extensive list from the Mastermind Group's book. As I go through these, I'd like you to just jot down maybe 3 or 4 that you would find the most benefit in. So as you listen to these, something resonates, just jot that down. So participation in a mastermind that would benefit you as an individual. Challenges to your ideas and convictions. Professional identity is built and strengthened. You receive support. Helps you gain access to greater creativity. You're forced to think differently. Develops your self-esteem. Helps you assess the bigger picture. Gives you a mental workout. You get access to other participants' years of experience. Ambition increases. Failures are transformed into learning experiences. Can help you develop capacity for taking action. You can feel more at ease when you're confronted with uncertainty. A place to allow you to be more authentic. Helps you start to think in new ways. Feel surrounded and supported by high-quality networks of people. Relationship needs are satisfied. You can learn how to help others. Learn how to ask for help. Develop confidence in decisions and acquire a greater capacity for taking them on. Can learn how to downplay your mistakes. Gain greater awareness and be able to receive and give encouragement. All right, so what are a couple of those that resonated with you and why? come on out. Kathleen?
Okay, for me, it would be help to see the bigger picture and to increase my ambition and be responsible to take action. Because, you know, what I'm working on is outside of what I've been doing, and it's before you know, the week's done and not much has gotten done on that. So.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. It sounds like you have the same, you start off the week and you're like, I'm going to set this time aside to work on my business. And then all of a sudden you're on Friday and you're like, wait a minute, what just happened?
Exactly.
How about one more share?
For me, I like the two that Kathleen mentioned, the ambition increases, and more that I have a great deal of ambition on Monday morning, and by the time the week starts wearing down, you know, my ambition lessens, and it's more have to than want to. So it might be not increases, but my ambition maintains. So that one stuck out to me. I like all the thing. You said a few different things that to me all kind of describe me. I like hearing things in a different way. So the think differently, the mental workout, all that is appealing to me. And the other thing is I go to so many networking meetings and talk about my business, but I really value the authenticity. So the idea that there is a place where I can go with a limited number of people that I have built a relationship with, a trust relationship, and we can all be our authentic selves and hear the unvarnished truth is very appealing to me.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think I like what you said about, you know, going to networking events, especially, you know, you've got your persona on, and, you know, it's nice to think about a place to just come and like get to take that shield off, just be you as the business owner around a supportive group, and really, yeah, lean into that authenticity and realness. So fantastic. Thank you, Kathleen and Danny, for sharing. We're gonna come up with one more list here. So again, put your mindset on as your hat on as an entrepreneur. So as the one that's in charge of your business, some benefits could be having a supportive executive board, which we certainly don't have as individual business owners. The ability to immediately model the successes of others, acknowledgement of progress in your business, easier problem solving with fewer attempts and errors, multiple perspectives on professional issues, development of strategic and operational maturity, easier identification of the real issues. Here's one, distance from one's ecosystem. So kind of stepping away from the your typical world that you operate in. Acquisition of non-theoretical knowledge, so real day-to-day knowledge. Acquisition of pertinent, honest feedback. Acquisition of the ability to move forward more quickly. Acquisition of the ability to identify solutions outside of your area of awareness. Being surrounded by co-coaches who promote your business activities. Being forced to go outside of your comfort zone. Accepting your own vulnerabilities and turning them into resources. Saving time between the stage when you come up with an idea and the time it takes to carry it out. And taking risks and being daring. So let's just have a couple more shares. Which in there kind of resonated and stood out? Boyd, I saw you come off of mute. Come on down.
Come on down. Yeah. What happens if you have more than three? Well, the ability to model is one. Multiple perspectives. The easier, it said easier identification of, I couldn't type that quick. I think it was easier identification of solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Acquisitions of theoretical, non-theoretical knowledge, and identify solution awareness. Basically, it's just having a great bunch of minds tell me their ideas about how they think the best possible way is to do something, because I know that I don't know a lot. So it's always good to hear feedback and get that help. I guess that's the.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Charbel, I saw you come off of mute. Does that mean you've got
Ironically, some of the ones that he picked as well are mine. So multiple perspective and is easier identification for solutions and having the ability for solution awareness. Those are three that stood out to me the most.
Wonderful.
I
Any
have
reason
one
why?
I have one that stood out. It was
Terry.
having your own like executive board.
That's a good one too.
Absolutely. You know, as business owners, you know, often it's challenging to, you know, be in charge of everything and, you know, have to come up with everything. And it's nice to, yeah, it's your built-in executive board. Fantastic. Charbel, Boyan, and Terry, thank you for sharing. All right, so it's important to look at, like, if I become a participant in a mastermind, what are some of the expectations? So really, you're making a commitment to the best of your ability to show up and be part of a collective mindset once a month for 12 months. It's really important as a member of this mastermind, you are a key player, and everybody, it's an interdependent ecosystem, if you will, okay? So having the appropriate mindset is also very important. So, you know, coming in with the ability, no one is there to shine more than anyone else. I'm pretty confident I know all of you enough here to know that that wouldn't be an issue. But knowing that each person comes with their strengths, their weaknesses, their own zone of genius, and the areas in which they're clear. By participating, we already kind of talked about this, you're invited to just take off that mask of the responsible entrepreneur without hesitation, support one another, and look to move ahead and, you know, together as a group. A little bit more into mindset. Two key mindsets that really stick out to me here. Caring without being complacent. And this is extremely important to create that concept of collective knowledge and stay away from groupthink, okay? So a group's mindset will determine the strength and the quality of that generative collective intelligence field, okay? Very, very important. And the main intention for how a group operates is teaching how to be caring without being complacent. And what does that mean? So every participant should be kind and demanding when it comes to what the other participants commit to in order to help them make that quantum leap. Again, this isn't a feel-good get-together meeting. This isn't a group coaching where we can kind of sit back. This is an intentional making an investment in time to move forward in your business. And that requires holding the group and holding the other participants accountable for their issues, what they commit to, how they show up, with the intention of helping them move forward in their business. Okay. So it's a demanding course of action. And because we have, you know, our own mental blocks, our limited beliefs, we've got gray areas in our life, it can take multiple, numerous times to get through things, and being able to, again, caring without being complacent is extremely important. Okay. At times, as a participant, if, you know, there's some constructive feedback given, Sometimes participants can become destabilized, like, ooh, I'm not sure what's going on right now. So being able to have the capacity to realize that, be welcome for those constructive comments, move through that space of being uncomfortable is an important mindset to have, that willingness. Also very important, others before me. You know, you come with working on your own business. It's also about helping others work on their business. And in going through that process, you also get a lot of insight as well. Everyone shows up to listen first, not to hear themselves talk. It's about that not shining. And then really the guiding question is, how can it be done and how can it be done better? Okay. What can I do to help you take action? And then finally, participants need to acknowledge the principle that they can progress as human beings along with their peers because of the group. Okay, so this requires some humility, some transparency, and the capacity for showing vulnerability. So there are specific, you know, activities and setting up at the beginning of the mastermind to make sure that trust is built. We don't just like jump right in and, you know, bare your soul. It's very done in an intentional way. But because of this, the principle of confidentiality becomes very necessary. So what's said inside that group is done so under the seal of confidentiality. And I love this quote. C.W. Metcalf says, "Take your work seriously, but yourself lightly." Okay, so this is a place to explore, be curious, be lighthearted, be creative. Those are all great mindset areas of mindset that can become successful in a mastermind. Finally, the coach state is important. It's very important to help generate that collective knowledge mindset. Okay, so it's actually a type of a meditation in order to increase the capacity for presence and generativity that ends up creating collective mindset. Okay, so the intention is to open up your heart and be able to accept the perspectives of others without passing any judgment. When it's used frequently, it actually helps reinforce the inner state necessary for collective intelligence, and it helps participants to establish a more centered, fluid, and generous mind. As a facilitator, it's my role to help facilitate and guide into the coach and stay away from the non-generative state, which is crash. So contraction, reactivity, analysis paralysis, separation, and hostility. Okay, so again, I'm going to be overseeing and looking for little areas where if somebody is moving in or if the group's moving into the crash state, guiding it back to be in that coach generative mindset. A mastermind compels one to do things because it is, how does this feel hit with you? Confrontational. It gives one a sense of responsibility and exposes one to the consequences of their action or inaction. Let's have initial thoughts on this. How does this quote sound?
It has a negative connotation or spirit, like the words used. There's another way to say it that's more beneficent. I don't know, more welcoming. But I think it's meant to challenge.
Challenge.
Yeah, that's what you know, it's provocative.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Do we lose Charbel?
He's off screen. I don't know. Yeah, he might have had something. Boyan,
Okay.
were you going to say something? Oh, wait. I heard somebody. Okay. I want to, Dan, you said it feels challenging. And again, that's exactly, a mastermind will challenge you. But again, done with caring and kindness, if you will. Okay, so it's important to know that it is going to be a challenge sometimes. Maybe we'll feel confrontational at times. We'll give you a sense of responsibility and uncover what happens as a result of either taking action or inaction. So again, this doesn't feel good initially. It's a little harsh, but done intentionally with like going into a mastermind, it's intentionally going in to be challenged so that you can grow. Thank you. All right, so format for the mastermind, it is very structured. During the course, there's always an opening, talking about victories from one session to the next. Accountability is a huge factor in the mastermind. The actual mastermind session itself, which we'll kind of talk about in a second. After the mastermind session itself, there's time to come up with desired outcomes. Again, that's very important to kind of assimilate everything that happened during the session. Okay, what am I gonna do from here? How am I going forward? What's gonna happen? Action cards, which I'll touch on, and then the closing. So very structured format to the mastermind. So during the mastermind session, there is a hot seat session, and that is an individual they come with a challenge, something that they want to work on, and then there's a way to gain insight from the other members, as well as there are discussion topics each session. So I'm going to read off some of the discussion topic areas that are a focus on through the whole mastermind in different ways. Jot down 2 or 3 that you would find most helpful now where you are in your business, okay? So some of the discussion topics and areas that we focus on: vision, mission, target market, working on the business and not in the business, obstacles and opportunities to delegation, image, relationship builders and their impact, referral partners, the sales process, clear and repeatable messages, your business model, brand promises, goals, decision making, dealing with blocks or being stuck, and then there's some other general topics. I hope nobody writes down general topics as something there. So let's couple quick shares. What would be most helpful, like, of that list for where you are in your business right now? Can you guys tell I'm a former teacher? Because I just sit and
I feel like for me, I'm already doing the work on a lot of those things, so it would be good to do maintenance work on vision, mission, target market, because all those things can change and need continual you need to visit them. But the thing that stands out to me is business model, and things that are blocking me.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny. How about one more share? Anything else stick out?
I'm sorry, I can go, but Lola's in the background barking. So working on my image, target market, business model, just trying to get the brand a little bit better, to get more involvement in social media, I guess.
Excellent. Thank you, Boyan. I didn't hear any dog behind you barking, by the way.
Good.
That's good. All right. Action cards. We'll touch on those. What are action cards? So at the end of every session, there's a wrap up by not handing out action cards because we are virtual, but there's a way and a process to actually give action cards. So 4 different categories, the action card itself. This is a non-negotiable action in which the participant will be held accountable for, the member. So it will be revisited at the beginning of the following meeting and used for discussion during the monthly coaching session. So everybody fills out the action card at the end of the session. There are giving cards. So one is advise. So this is when a member is willing to offer advice to another member in relation to a request or on any other topic. They would hand out the advice, like, hey, let's connect. I've got some advice for you. There's a feedback. So somebody who wishes to give feedback to another member. So again, this is done with the intention of connecting offline. It's just that little commitment of, hey, I've got some feedback for you. Let's connect over it. Help is another action card. Somebody, if you're willing to help another member with their request or on another topic that came up. Network, if something through the course of the session, you were like, oh, I've got somebody in my network that can help you expand your informational network. You're going to hand them that and make that commitment to make that introduction. And then finally, testimonial. So if you wish to offer a testimonial to a member, you would give them the testimonial card. There is a request card. This is a buzz, and this is given to another participant, asking them to send you a buzz at a certain point, at a certain date, on a certain topic. Okay, so this allows the giver to ask another participant in the group to hold them accountable for a specific action. Okay, so this could be like, hey, Danny, I need you to contact me in 2 weeks and make sure I have hired a virtual assistant. You know, like something like that. And Danny's going to say, okay, I'm going to put this on my calendar. I'm going to contact Amanda in 2 weeks and ask for that question. So that would be a buzz card.
By the way, I am going to put that on my calendar because you're talking about this for 2 weeks prior to this.
Thank you. I have some proposals that I'm going to go through this weekend while I'm out camping. So yeah. There are also 2 cards in the appreciation. So one would just be a like card, and it's just meant to recognize the worth of a member about something that they said during the session. And a thank you card. Thank another member for something that they did. Okay. So these are just small little commitments at the end, accountable actions, recognition, requests for more support, accountability, and also just giving for the sake of giving and building those relationships. Things to expect from me in between sessions. Between meetings, I send a follow-up email that describes the milestones that were achieved during this session and changes that are expected to take place before the next meeting. I also will send out supplemental information, links to web pages and interesting books that come up that are of value in different areas and topics. Also provide proposed guidelines for specific developmental tasks, and also update about progress. I still love this quote. I use it all the time. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I think it's one of my favorites because I fall into this a lot. So it comes down to, where are you in your business? Are you feeling stuck? What new steps are you doing, or new areas are you thinking about to move yourself to that next level in your business? And here's another challenging statement. Who nowadays actually has the opportunity to be confronted in this way, in a caring but non-complacent environment by such a diverse group of peers? This is not something that you can happen upon, that you can just fall into, that you can create without intentionality, without being trust being put in place, and without a specific structure. So a lot of value in that. All right, so let's get to what it is. Asentiv Mastermind community. What comes with joining the community is participation in the monthly mastermind. It is a 3-hour meeting. It is long for a Zoom meeting, trust. You guys know me. I never go for more than an hour without a break, so it is broken up. It is a 12-month commitment. Because of the group dynamic, because of the trust that's built, because of the accountability, it is making a commitment to be there and show up for a year. Now, do I know that things come up, things happen, especially right now during these uncertain times? Absolutely. So there's always room. If something happens, I'm not going to hold you in and lock you to it. Okay. It's just for the benefit of the participants going in with the intention of, I'm going to commit to my business for 12 months. That's what the commitment is. You're not signing away your life. I'm limiting this to 6 participants. Research has been done about a good size for masterminds, and they say anywhere between 5 and 10 participants. The sweet spot really is 6. Because there are 12 sessions, I want to make sure every participant has ample opportunity to be in that hot seat and get the feedback. And if we go beyond that with only having a 3-hour meeting once a month, that opportunity would be limited. Some masterminds will meet, twice a year for 2 full days. So they go through, many more participants, but because of the way this is structured, 6, it's just feeling like the sweet spot. There's also a selection process. This is not about like, let me just get whoever I can get into here. Okay. A mastermind, in order to work well, participants need to not necessarily be on the same page, but they need to be in the same chapter in their book of their business, if you will. Okay, so their mindset needs to be in the right place. They need to be, it needs to be a good fit. Oh, I see a chat here. Let me pull that up. Oh, thank you, Tarbell. Good to know. So there is a selection process. It's not like super, but we've talked about, kind of the mindset, making sure the mindset's there, the ability to show up. Those different things. So just know that I'm not looking to take anybody who wants to come in. It's very intentional in creating the best possible outcome. There are many benefits, bonus benefits, because this is the founding group. And it's important for, the success of the participants. There's a 60-minute monthly group coaching session. So whereas I said the mastermind is not group coaching, on the off weeks in between, there is a 60-minute group coaching session, 12 in total. That is optional, but a way to kind of check in mid-month. Hey, how are things going? I need some help with this, different things like that. You also get a 30-minute individual coaching session monthly with me, if you want to really dial in on some specific issues. And then I also offer courses, so 50% savings on Asentiv Pro. Market price for that is $34.99. With COVID times and everything that's going on, it's $9.99 right now, so that would be a 50% off there. And Codebreaker Summits, which is the big code, something else, but very important for effective communication when those are offered, 50% off that. So what would happen if you intentionally invested in and committed to spending over 54 hours of time over the next year? What would your business look like? And what would change? Anybody have any thoughts that come up? It could be a theoretical question, but what would change for you? Maybe, maybe not. Okay.
I don't know about what would change in the future. All I will tell you is that since I have been doing the coursework through Asentiv with you, the time that I have spent in the past 2 months, I would say if it's an hour and a half a week or 2 hours a week, I've gotten back like 6 more hours in my week from the investment I've made. So if you're looking for an imagination of what would the results look like, I would imagine if I invested 54 hours of time in this way over the next year, I would triple that amount of time back in the resources that it would save me, or the anguish over trying to solve a problem all by myself, or not knowing who to call if an issue comes up, and getting that feedback would help me save time. So in a time investment, the value would be at least triple the time I would put in.
Fantastic. I'm excited about that feedback. Thank you, Danny. So time savings, because you're investing some time in your business, but it's also giving you back time. Wonderful. Boyan?
I think for a lot of you, because you know much more than I do, yes, as Danny says, you'll get back time. Especially for people like me who have lots of questions, it's a big help, because there is no emphasis or something on time. It's the fact that I don't know and I'm bridging the gap to know. So that's a big thing in and of itself, is to understand things that I don't. I come up, I ask something, and I get feedback about stuff. So I hope that made sense.
It does, yeah. So fitting some pieces together in place and gaining some confidence maybe in knowing more. Wonderful. Excellent. So market price is $34.99. Because I am looking for founding members, the investment is $24.99 or $215 monthly. I've got the flexibility to kind of set my own prices there. Paid in full is $24.99. If you pay the $215, it's about an $80 difference. So again, I realize we are in uncertain times. There's a lot going on. So my guarantee, if after 3 months of participation, and it means full participation, not like I've signed up and I've only attended a session here and there, but if you are fully committed, invested in spending your time after 3 months and you're not finding the value, 100%, I will give you your money back. Also, again, I want to focus on that 12-month commitment. Again, it's about the intention for the integrity of the group. Again, if something happens, we all know life comes up and happens. As long as we have a 30-day written notice, you're not locked into the 12 months like stake in the ground. So if you are interested, the process would be to shoot me an email, amanda@abundanceonpurpose.com. I finally got my real email. I will send you an application. You just submit the application with the $215 deposit. We schedule a quick 15-minute call, talk about it, talk through mindset, expectations, any questions. From there, it would be signing an agreement, coming up with a payment schedule if you're wanting to do monthly. And then once the group is formed, by August 31st, the group will be formed. The benefit of being a founding member is you have say into when the meetings are, versus joining an established mastermind that's already set at a certain time. The group will come up with the time that works the best and the monthly group coaching, and then we'll schedule your 30-minute individual coaching sessions. So with that, thank you. Thank you for your time and your interest, taking a look at if this could be of benefit and value for your business. And just anybody have any questions?
Yes, if I have other additional people that would want to go through this presentation with you, or you recorded this so you can send this presentation out to people?
Yes, I am recording and we'll send a link. And also if there's enough interest, if there's 2 or 3 people that are interested, I'm happy to do another I have to rephrase things, in person or live presentation, I'm happy to do that too.
Okay.
So, great question. Yeah, and this is about like, you all know people that now that you've seen what it is, kind of the mindset, you have, you know, maybe referral network people that you could be like, I would really like, they would add a lot of value. Definitely reach out to them, because this is about creating a really good, cohesive, strong group. Boyan?
I just had a thought when you said that. Has Marty applied for this? Because I think he'd be a great resource. He's very.
I'm not sure. He didn't register for it or anything, but feel free if you know. I'll check with him again, but it always adds value if somebody else is like, hey, this would be, you know, beneficial. So I agree. He's got the mindset too. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.